For the first time since 1965, the NCAA decided to do some work, shutting down the grand idea of Coach Brown and Coach Primetime of putting together a nice little scrimmage game for all of us. The NCAA only likes to deliver bad news. I don't feel like they have done anything positive for this football association in quite some time. Also, some big-time recruiting intel. We're going to talk all about it today, boys and girls. Sit back, relax, smash the like button. Let's roll it. Let's get after it. I flushed my juice down in the club. Good jam. I read a comment. Someone says that they like to crack open a can of beers and listen to the music. Watch me. Like there's a full-blown jam session. Look, the intro is definitely, I would say, a big component of the show. Y'all love it, and I love that you love it. Let's get after it, boys and girls. So the NCAA, who literally does nothing. I mean, you could have all kinds of nonsense, complaints, the transfer portal, the windows when that's open, recruiting season when that window's open, tampering, all of these things that people are ranting and raving about. Coach Prime simply just says, hey, I want an opportunity to improve my guys' ability to get better in the off time. I don't know. We pay our guys, treat our guys like the NFL. Why can't we go act like the NFL and have a scrimmage game? Why can't I go play another school? What's the problem in that? I'm taking all the risk here. It's my team that I'm putting on the line. We're already going to have a game. Why not just have it with somebody else? He makes that comment. Fran Brown raises his hand and says, I'm all in, baby. Let me after it. 3 days, Boulder. Sounds good to me. Gets a little gray up here in New York, up in Syracuse. I'm all about it. And I talked about it. I go, the idea is grand. And if there's two coaches that are willing to get it done, and kind of how I operate, it's like, let's not worry about the X's and O's. Let's just make it happen. Well, the details will figure out itself. It'll iron itself out. These were the two to get it done. But I also came and said, I go, listen, there's going to be a bunch of people who sit around and don't do anything all day. Go, hey, this is something we can actually, we can ruin. Let us in on it. This is actually, we're the middleman. We're supposed to control this. Let's ruin this for everybody. And they woke up. They decided to clock in. Good for them. I thought they'd be on vacation, which I guess this was the 1 week of the year they decided to work. The NCAA decided to deny the pro spring game. Asinine to me. The fact that they even got it just, here's what they said. On Friday, the decision from the NCAA was made official. The FBS Oversight Committee will not recommend a waiver to allow the game to take place. I just love the fact that it got to that far. It argued other programs are too far into spring practice to schedule a game, as well as academic concerns and potential recruiting advantages not available to other programs. I mean, you want to talk about giving me an absolute just loaded gun. I'm all in. I'm cool with all of these things. Like that you made a stand. But like I just mentioned, the plethora of things that have come up that are recruiting advantages or disadvantages that the NCAA has not addressed is number one. But we won't get into the hearsay, they say nonsense. How about the teams that have chosen to cancel their spring game? Now, you could argue, well, that's their doing. That's what they don't want to play. Okay, but it's been scheduled for quite some time. That's been something we've had for years and years and years. And their reasoning for canceling is to get an advantage. Let's say the transfer portal, not necessarily on the recruiting aspect, but maybe it is an advantage on the recruiting aspect. Why? Because now they're not spending that weekend having to hold an entire scrimmage game for fans to come in. They can go and do more. Why aren't they being held to the same standard? Why aren't they being held to say, no, you can't cancel this scrimmage game? It's something that is scheduled amongst all people. Now, there's plenty of arguments you can say. All that I'm saying is the ground that you're standing on, what you're using to cancel this game, doesn't make any sense to me of how they're allowed to cancel. Again, you're saying what's only impacting them. These two teams agreed. It's only impacting them and what they do. Your reason for canceling it is the impact of others. I think canceling your spring game and clearly stating because we don't want other people to be tampering with our program is impacting others. I'm just saying, I just want a nice even line. That's it. Look, I didn't think it was going to happen anyways, but there was a slimmer of hope, and I was riding high on it. Of course, they got to come out after the check gets paid. You know what I mean? They're like, listen, things are going too well for Coach Prime in Colorado. Let's put some red tape around this thing for a minute. Let's talk recruiting, yeah? This dropped after the checks were signed. We talked about it yesterday. I think it's going to have a monumental impact on the Colorado's recruiting. Gotta love it. Dorian Barney. Great name, by the way. 4-star cornerback, 6'1", 180. Check the helmet, boys and girls. Peep the uni. You recognize it. You probably do. Some of you are going, where have I seen that before? You've seen it on your 5-star quarterback, and Mr. Juju Lewis. That's right. They played together. Previously committed to Alabama. Down to his top 6. You'll recognize something. Alabama is nowhere to be seen. You got Michigan, who is just, we know what they're doing. Them boys are throwing cheddar. They are just, like, it's like the little gun. They're just holding the trigger, and it's just slinging $100 bills. Slinging it. Penn State just signed the number 1 defensive coordinator, allegedly, in the country. Big time move. North Carolina, that's the new sexy logo that we're going to see a lot of this year, I believe, with obviously the Bill Belichick. We'll see how it plays out. I'm intrigued by it. Buddy of mine, hot take of his, says, I think North Carolina will run the ACC in a couple of years. So let's keep our eyes and ears peeled for that one. Because with the NIL, with things moving around, how they're moving, it's not a horrible take. Georgia Tech, they've been doing some nasty things when it comes on that NIL recruiting trail. A&M, listen, I don't even think they ain't got an account. They just be spending money. So I wouldn't be too concerned about them. But great company to be in alongside Colorado. Cornerbacks for me are always, I feel like you got to think, okay, Coach Prime and the Buffs are always got to be in the top of the argument. And if they don't want you, then you're not going to commit. If they want you, you better commit. Next up, Carson Snead, 4-star tight end, 6'5", 6'6", 235, currently committed to Tennessee. Visited the Buffs this past weekend. Had some great things. Again, currently committed to Tennessee. Had some great things to say. He said, it was great. I really liked the message they got across to me. You know how Coach Pat Shurmur is an NFL guy with lots of tight ends. He's accounted for, and I really want to trust that. Everyone there is a very genuine and has your best interest at heart. The scenery for sure. That was the most beautiful campus I've ever been on. And then also with the guys on the staff and the team from Nashville there to guide me. I know they have my back, and I'd have theirs like Chauncey and Coach Bach and Coach Corey. Now he's off to North Carolina. So we'll see if the Buffs can make a big-time flip. We'd love for Tennessee to lose one here. I always love when Tennessee's having a bad day. That makes my day just that much better. So we'll see. Nice little update on the recruiting trail there. Look, we get back from spring break here next week, back into business here. We're in April, so we're in full swing of spring football. That'll be happening in a couple of weeks. I expect some recruiting visits to kind of heat up over the next couple of months as well, too. So we get all that information right here on this channel. Be sure to smash the like button, subscribe. Hope you guys are enjoying the content. We're back rolling, rocking, and rolling. Turn the bell on. You don't want to miss it when we drop a video. Want to be first to the buck. I'll see you on the next one. Be good. Peace and love, baby.